Good evening to you for coming on board. Welcome on timeline, Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye. I do not have copyright to the music playing, so I pay my homage there. You know, all the devices are giving me alerts that Tokunbo Olagbaye is on. Fantastic. A beautiful afternoon to you, according to the United Kingdom time. 2:10. According to the United Kingdom time, 2:10. Good evening to you. Good evening to you. I do not have a copyright to the music playing. The homage is paid to Chief Ebenezer Obi Fabi. I pay homage to that music. I do not have copyright. Honestly, there is no place like Africa to me. Stamina Fatunde Stamina. Cute. You are welcome on board. Yes, so me go. Yes. That Africa is a nation. Africa. Motherland, Africa. They were left funny mouth. Yeah, Africa. Yeah, Africa. Africa is my own. The bright sunshine of Nigeria. All over the world, there's no place like Africa. Look at his voice, sir. His voice is solemn. That was when he was his prime. He was in his prime at the time he sang that song. Good evening to you, good afternoon, according to the United Kingdom time, UK time, Greenwich Meridian time, GMT, past 2. I'm black and proud. I'm black and proud. I'm black and proud. I'm black and proud. Amen. See you, Minister Adebayo. Amen. And you too. Stamina today, thank you. Africa to me. Yeah. Adura Wolabi, Adewale Fonima Benga. Good afternoon. Fadipa Ibukumosi. Good afternoon. Suleiman Minister Adebayo. Good afternoon. Miss Adeola. Good afternoon. Shona Adebayo. Good afternoon. Kinga Adeyema Konabe. Watching. Good afternoon. If you have just dropped yourself from the timeline because you hear the Nigerian music, you are going to fall foul this afternoon. If you just drop yourself from the timeline because only you heard the Nigerian music, you are going to lose out completely, because I am talking about legal issue this afternoon. You are going to lose out completely, because I saw the numbers that came up and I saw the numbers that dropped immediately they heard the music of Chief Ebenezer Obi. So if you just drop because it's a Nigerian music, you are a failure. It's as simple as that. You should expect me once in a while to pay homage. You should expect me once in a while to pay homage. I did not come from heaven, neither do I come from the cloud. So you should expect me occasionally to pay homage. So if you drop because you heard the Nigerian music, you are a fake person, and I'm not going to apologize. There is no apology to the statement that I just made now. I have the right to reserve it, and I choose not to reserve it today. Izuma Ike, you're welcome on board. Izuna Ike, you're welcome on board. Only if you hear the music and you drop because you think she's just going to talk about Nigeria alone, you are a failure. Because I'm not talking about Nigeria, I want to talk about legal issues. And I say, are you there? Because I want to pass insult to all of you that have been making some applications incorrectly. I want to pass the insult to you. So next time you will sit tight and do the correct thing at the correct time. But the music is for Saturday afternoon on a very vibrant mood. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. But if you hear the music and you drop out, I pray that you never drop out on your glory day. No gbàdúrà pé o ní sún sẹ́yìn lọ́jọ́ nǹkan ayọ̀ rẹ o ní jáde kúrò nínú perfect mirror. I pray for you so. But I'm going to go into legal issues smoothly. But I want that music to roll for me, for my mood, my music, my mood.
Blessed to be thy name, O Lord.
Me, boy.
I am proud to be a Nigerian. Blessed to be thy name, O Lord. I am proud to be a Nigerian. I will never forget my home. I will never.
Amen, stamina. Wash out your family, thank you.
I will never forget my home. Africa.
I did not drop from the cloud, neither do I come from sky. I have a root, and as such, I pay homage to my root before I commence the program this afternoon. Don't forget, I am giving you information for free, so I am entitled by virtue of my legal profession to do whatever I do, as long as I did not step on the toes of the United Kingdom authority, or neither do I step on the toes of the authority of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So as such, I am giving information for free, and I would expect anyone to comply with what is going on my timeline. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I said, are you there? On a legal matter this afternoon, I want to pass insult rigorously to some of you ignorantly making an application to the entry clearance officers and thinking that the day will not go ahead if you fail in your application by failing to comply with the government of the United Kingdom requirements. When we're talking of coming into the United Kingdom, it entails quite a lot of things. And as such, I respect people that take legal advice. If you don't throw money away, you cannot find money on the street. If you don't leave your comfort zone, you can never be successful in life. Forget it. Do not let anybody deceive you. Those who make it in life are those who leave their comforts and take risk. If you're not prepared to take risks, to make payment, to pay for things, you can never get to the destination that you are possibly ordained to get to. So everything works for good, but for only those who wait in the Lord. So when you are praying at the same time, effort is necessary. Effort is necessary. God is not going to come down from heaven to come and assist you. That is one side. So you must be practical in everything you do. You must be practical. If you fail to be practical in things that you do, I can vividly bet it with you. The success will be limited. The success will be limited. The reason why the success will be limited is just so simple. It is just so simple. People must be ready, willing and ready to pay for what they want to achieve. It is like when you are renting an apartment or selling a property or selling your skills. You have to brush up and do things highly. I actually recognize you 99.9%. Karen Ambush, thank you for the love button. Thank you for the love button. A lot of people expected things to happen overnight without a need for them to do the needful. So I to be honest, I am tired of reading refusals. I am tired. I have read so much refusals to the extent that my eyes is even telling me that Enough of your readings, Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye. Enough of your readings, Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye. Miss Anne Adisa, welcome on board. Mademoiselle, welcome on board, and thank you for the love button rolling on. You know, I have read so much refusals notice, and I can vividly say to people that, why are you just doing this to yourself? Because at the end of the day, the money you have wasted on the application is enormously high. If you are coming on a spouse visa and you have already paid to the government alone, I don't know how much your lawyer has charged you, but you have paid to the government alone almost 3,000 to 4,000 pounds for one person, because you will pay the government fee and pay the surcharge. Surcharge is there. You know, surcharge is there. And I'm still telling myself that, why would people ignorantly know that they don't have experience? You don't have experience in this area. And instead of you to take legal advice for a prominent and standing lawyer of my stature, I am saying it categorically. I am not apologizing or sorry to say that from me. Gone are the days I'll be saying that take it from lawyer. Why can't you not take advice from me? If you are a member of this timeline for years and you still having refusals from another practice or from entry clearance, knowingly that you're supposed to succeed, or you don't start the application now and wait until you meet the requirements. Now, if you have failed to do the right thing at the right time, who do you want to blame for your failure in life? Who do you want to blame for your failure in life? Because this is the same thing. This is the same thing when people failed in their omission, in their whatever they have done without doing the right thing. They want to put the blame to their family member and say that, oh, it's my family that didn't help me. Does your family needs to hold your hand to take you to the place, or hold your hand to feed you at the age of 35, 40 years old? Only a question is raised. Only a question is raised at this time. You know, only a question is raised. Does your family needs to hold your hand for you to do the right thing at the age of 35, 40, 45 upward? I'm asking questions because I am totally tired of looking at refusers ignorantly. You know, I have quite few here that I can easily read them through to you for you to know. But I'm going to save the face of those who holds it, even though I'm not going to mention their names. But I will still save their face and not give that correction out to the public. But I'm saying that, why would you not take legal advice? Or why would you not do shopping, window shopping, before you even proceed to put in the application? Failing to plan is planning to fail. Izuna Ike is as simple as that. Izuna Ike is as simple as that. If you fail to plan, it basically means that you are planning to fail. Because some people in life, they have no directions. And if you don't have directions of where you are going, or what you intend to do, or what you plan to achieve, and you just drop yourself into it, and I'm saying to myself, the money, the chicken change, the token amount of money that you were supposed to pay at the initial stage, which at the onset, we call it in law, at the onset, is the money you are later on paying when you have been refused. Now, let's start taking it from one by one. Let's take it from one by one on the various reasons for refusals I have read so far in the last a week or two. Various reasons for refusals from entry clearance officers that I have read so far, from people that possibly doing medicine after death. Now, medicine after death is possibly for those who have refused to take vaccine, COVID vaccine, and when they are now caught, they will now start running up and down that they want to go and take vaccine. That is a typical of medicine after death. Going back to the rule of law on immigration, you have a child in Nigeria, not in the United Kingdom, and you live basically in the United Kingdom, and you want to bring that child into the United Kingdom to join you. Now, the first problem you will encounter in life during the process of bringing that child into the UK is the statement you have made to the Home Office. The statement you have made to the Home Office when you are applying to stay in the UK, or perhaps the statement you have put down to the entry clearance on your visa form when you are coming to the United Kingdom. Now, for example, in 2005, if you are traveling to the United Kingdom on a visit visa and they ask you, do you have children? And you said no on the application, listen carefully. Faith without work is dead. Thank you, Karen Ambush. Exactly. Faith without work is dead. Yes. So that is it. Some legal counsel are misguided. Okay, Bello Osage. Okay. Don't let us talk about the legal counsel now, because those cases are different day entirely. I've been telling you guys. I want your case in one attorney, so I don't have their time. Because you talk about them, you don't talk about them, it's a waste of time. Only so I don't have their time. Now, let's go straight to the point and say the truth. You took a visa in 2005, typical example, and on your application form, they asked you if you have a child or not, and you said no on your application form, you do not have a child. Now, 15 years later, you are now with ILR, indefinite leave to remain, or perhaps with British passport or whatever status you have. You are now planning to bring a child into the UK. Meanwhile, in 2005, you have told them on the form categorically that you do not have a child. Who are you going to blame for your refusal? Who are you going to blame? Who are you going to blame? Because you have already said categorically in 2005 when filling an application form to come into the United Kingdom that you do not have a child. You now enter the United Kingdom on a visit visa when the country was still at the nail. The country was still at the nail. So it was easy for you to take a visa on a single platter of gold. So you were granted and you travel into the United Kingdom. Unfortunately, one thing or the other happened to you. And as a result of that, you were unable to return back. You now find your route on ground. Exceptional circumstances took in. The government of the United Kingdom, the Secretary of State Home Department, now gave you a stay in the UK under EX1 for one reason or the other. Later on in life, you now decided to bring in a child that was born in 2003, which is still underage, or perhaps the child that was born in 2004 that you left in Nigeria at the age of 9 months or 10 months old. Sari B said fat. Sari B, she said fat. Fat only. You now decided to bring that child in 2020. Because the child is now 15 years or 16 years, and you are now with indefinite leave to remain, and you apply. You make application to the entry clearance officer to bring that child in as a parent as a child that her mother or his father is in the United Kingdom, especially to the woman that said first. You now brought that child, you now wanted to bring the child into the UK because the child is 15, 16 years old. The mother now has indefinite leave to remain. The father whereabouts is unknown, and the mother wants to bring the child in. But the mother has forgotten that she has lied. To the entry clearance, there is a misrepresentation of facts on the submission of document, on the writing paper, by saying that I have no child when you made the application in 2005. Meanwhile, knowingly, I will not apologize. There's no reservation for it. I will not apologize for the statement. You intentionally lied to the Secretary of State for the Home Department by saying that you do not have a child. So there is a misrepresentation of fact there. You have misconstrued the whole statement by failing to disclose to the authority of the United Kingdom representative in Lagos, perhaps Abuja, Victoria Island, or Ikeja, or even in Jamaica, or even in Pakistan, in Uganda, in Kenya, in Morocco, in Malaysia, elsewhere you want to talk about, you have lied categorically in Ghana, Accra. You lied to them in Ghana embassy and said to them that you do not have a child. When you submitted the application in 2005, and up until 2020, when you were renewing, there was no mentioning or amendment of statement to say that it was an oversight during the process of applying to the Secretary of State in the UK, because the application will say, have you got a child that you are responsible for? Have you got a child that you are responsible for? And you tick the ball, no. You did not tick the ball, yes. Meanwhile, you do have a child that you were responsible for, and the child lives in Accra, the child lives in Banjul, the child lives in Zaire or in Nairobi, or perhaps the child is in Umuahia or in Anambra or in Abakaliki or Owerri or Lagos, right? Or perhaps in Ondo State, Ekiti, or Osun State, or in Ogun State, Ijebu. You did not mention that in Jamaica, Kingston. You did not tell them that you have a child before in Malaysia, in Morocco. You did not mention anything. Ignorantly, you discussed the entry clearance by failing to disclose the right information at that time. Come what may be, 15 years later, you now wanted to bring the child into the UK. First and foremost, you only obtained the birth certificate of that child just 3 or 4 weeks before you put in an application for a whole 15-year-old or a whole 16-year-old. There was no any record to show that the 16-year-old was born to you in so-so-so hospital at Accra, in so-so-so hospital at Kingston in Jamaica, in so-so-so hospital from Lagos or Anambra or Owerri or Abakaliki or even from Benin City. There was nothing to indicate that you have had a child from an hospital in places that you lived before you travel into the United Kingdom. So it be, you now put in an application for a child to join settled parent, and that settled parent is a single mother. Let's start with a single mother. The parent is now a single mother in bringing the child in under the care of 291 sole parental responsibility. Now, the first problem you will encounter in life is the spirit of disclosure. You have failed because you have failed to disclose relevant information. It's a material information that is so important that you have failed to disclose. You have also failed to obtain the birth certificate at the time the child was born. So you cannot rely on a birth certificate you took 4 weeks ago before the application commences. So you have failed some important information in that aspect. Now, moving on, you are now saying that, the entry clearance is bad in its decision-making process. I beg your pardon. The entry clearance is working in my mind, because I will refuse you and I will not give a damn to what your repercussion of thinking will be. I will refuse your application. The reason why I will refuse your application is because you have lied on a platter of gold. You were given an opportunity to say yes to yes, and you were also placed with an opportunity to disclose material evidence. Material evidence is the evidence that will be useful for the ECO to come to conclusion on your case. It's a fact that will be useful to the immigration officer at the borders or to the case workers in the Home Office department. But in this aspect, you have failed categorically. And when you have failed categorically in that aspect, there is no one that is hurting you. There is none of your father's family that does not wish you progress. There is none of your mother's family that does not wish you success. There is none of your friend that hates your God. And there is nobody except you that hates your only success for yourself. Because you think that hidden information will assist you to get the visa or to get the child into the country. You cannot get away with things like that. So if I were to be sitting as an entry clearance officer, I am putting it before you today. I will refuse your application. I will refuse your application, and there is no reservation to apology. I will refuse your application, and I stand corrected. You understand? The reason why I refuse your application is because the onus is on you to disclose the material evidence before me and for me to make a vital decision in your processing application. But you have failed yourself because you did not fail me. I'm only a decision maker. So whether you make you submit application or not, as a decision maker, if I were to be one, my salary will still be paid. And don't forget, in my adage, anyone that works for government doesn't go wrong. Anyone that work for the government side, or work on the government side, they don't go wrong because they are supporting a powerful parastatal. Government is powerful. Government is powerful. In any country, in any nation, the government has the final say. They have the final authority. That is why a lot of people want to sit on that seat and examine how it's hot, whether it's hot or cold. People want to examine it. So that is that side. Now, in that aspect on sole parental responsibility, you have failed two major things foremost. The spirit of disclosure and the issue of birth certificate has failed your application, because when you gave birth to a child, this is a lesson for others in every country that are my timeline, as my client, my fans. Take note of this. Always obtain medical record on the day your child is born, and always have the birth certificate. Every country must issue a certificate to the child that is born on that soil. It doesn't matter whether the child is a citizen of that country or not. In Qatar, you are not a citizen of a Qatar unless your parents are Qataris. So therefore, you will only be given a certificate of birth confirming that you were born at so hospital. Once that is attested, the United Kingdom will not query the authority and say that the birth certificate is wrong. So certain countries will have problem with government of the United Kingdom. EA, Nigeria. EA, Nigeria will always have problem with the authority of the United Kingdom when it comes to putting documents in correctly, because it is my country of origin, and I will open my mouth to say things categorically. They hate to do the right thing at the right time. They like to beat around the bush. They want to cut corners. When you want to cut corners, it's going to be impossible for you. It's going to be impossible for you to get good results. But if you go straight to the door and pass through the entrance, you are more likely to be assisted and get things done on time. So that is that on the issue of that side. Now, to claim parental responsibility on a child that lives with your mother, or live with his or her grandparent in overseas like Kingston, like Accra, Uganda, Malaysia, Morocco, Kenya, Nairobi, Zaire, Zimbabwe, Namibia, Nigeria, Ghana, India, Pakistan, or any other country that I have not mentioned, put it out there, I will mention you. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult because you have failed to do the right thing at the right time. Because parental responsibility means that you have to show that you know where the whereabouts of the other parent is, and is not being responsible, or she's not being responsible. But you cannot just say that you want to take advantage of the immigration processing. Now, let me put it out to the public. After Brexit, it has now been so difficult for us to argue it out in court on sole responsibility. Everybody wants to bring their kids into the United Kingdom. What have you been waiting for? Now, if you have been stamped an indefinite leave to remain for the past 8 or 10 years, and you have never traveled to your country of origin where the child lives to go and visit that child, your application will fail standly. It will fail. In fact, it will fail categorically. That amendment will be difficult because you do not do the right thing at the right time. Remember, I've mentioned it to you. A client from Philippines wanted to bring his child into the UK by saying that the daughter was not properly taken care of. Instead of him to travel to Philippines to go and visit that daughter and examine that daughter and see what's going on in that daughter's life, he took off and went to New York for holiday enjoyment. When we went to court, I love the Secretary of State for the Home Department person that represented that case at that time. They called me. They did call me to side and did query that before we went into court action. They called me and said to me, Mrs. Olagbaye, can we have a word on your case? And I said, so sure. Why not? So we had a chat in the meeting room, and they told me categorically that your client will fail, that I should prepare my mind. And the same thing I was thinking, the same thing they said to me, that your client will fail because your client, on the date your client mentioned that her daughter had an incident in Philippines, the client took off and traveled to go and party in New York. He went to New York to go and party. This is a client that's been taking care of his daughter from the day that child was born because the mother is not responsible. So it is not all women that are responsible when it comes to assessment of parental responsibility, parental role. You know, assessment is very important. But at that stage, the young man failed because I warned him. When he was going to New York, I did say to him that your case will fail because you were not supposed to go to New York. You were supposed to travel back to Philippines and go and see that daughter, put her away from where she's living and take her into another place entirely and let us have evidence that you travel into that country and you should take pictures with that girl and the environment she was. But he failed to listen to me, and it's the same thing exactly what my friends from the Department of the Secretary of State for all the Home Department in the UK, it was exactly what they told me, that we failed that case. So what I did was that I withdraw the case. What did I say? I withdraw the case. I advise my client and I withdraw the case because I don't take no for an answer. So I withdraw the case and I ask for adjournment so that it can be corrected. So the case was withdrawn from court and requested for an adjournment for one vital reason that I will not disclose in the public. The reason I gave to the judge would never be disclosed to the public for confidential purposes. And as a lawyer, there are certain things that I am obliged to have with my clients and I'm not obliged to give to the public to have unless you are my client. But on that fateful day, I withdraw the case and requested for it to be adjourned until we are able to do certain things on that day. Now, good news is that the Secretary of State Home Department, a Ghanaian origin representative of the government, a Ghanaian origin, I know her name, I can easily mention her, but I will not mention her name. A Ghanaian origin representative of the government called me to warn me on that day. What a fantastic result we end up having after when we do the needful. After when the needful was done, we had the result we were looking for. But let me put it to your notice. After Brexit, it is so difficult now for so many people to succeed on a court matter, especially one, if you are going to claim long residence, which is the case that we have about few of them. Long residence is internal. That is the end of that one. The long residence that is the internal case, you might be living in the United Kingdom for 30 years, so be it. If you are unable to provide official documentation to corroborate your claim and witnesses to stand for you in court to say, yes, I'm a church pastor. You see, this is why I want to kudos the Muslims, the Imam, the Afars on timeline in the United Kingdom, the Muslim, the mosque, the Awadudin group or this mosque at Old Kent Road, all the mosques at Old Kent Road. I kudos you in London because I'm a London babe. So I kudos the London Old Kent Road or mosque. I said, well done to you. All the mosques that are Old Kent Road, that are at Old Kent Road, I say kudos to you. I did not have any reservation to say anything contrary than to say kudos to you. I want to publicly congratulate you for your efforts in supporting your members from your mosque all the time. You always gave enormous support. Apart from writing to us and putting out the representation to assist them, you will also pay money to assist them. At the same time, you also come to court to stand for them as a member of your congregant that has been there for many years. So on that note alone, kudos to all the mosques that I have at Old Kent Road in London. Well done to you. Now, I am not going to go into religious matter. It is none of my business, but I say it with all my mouth without any apology. Well done to the mosques in London, especially all the ones at Old Kent Road. Thank you. Thank you for supporting your members from time to time, for backing them up. You are telling me and letting people know that it is not just about religion alone. It is about humanity. humanity. I need you, you need me, and we have to be there for each other. So on that note, thank you on behalf of those clients that received assistance, monetary, documentary, supporting statement, your standing in court, fantastically vibrant and encouraging. I will use encouraging, So move away from that. If you fail to provide documents, your application will fail. After Brexit, the Secretary of State has now become someone else entirely, taking all the laws into our own cabinet, into our own corridor of power. And I'm not ready to blame Secretary of State for anything. I'm not ready to blame Secretary of State for anything because she's been asked to do what she's doing. And if I were to be in the position as well, I have to respect my boss, which will be the Prime Minister in any extent. So I don't have any problem with the Secretary of State for the Home Department in the United Kingdom. Kudos to her. It was an opportunity grabbed and it was well making use of as we speak. So you will not be able to succeed in court if you are careless to let any lawyer take you to court and say, don't worry, when we get to court, we will succeed. There is a limitation of things that you will get away with in today's judicial system. The judges are how do I want to put it? They have changed their roles. They have changed their roles from adversarial. They are now inquisitorial. The reason why I said they are inquisitorial is because they are inquisitive. Inquisitive means that they are taking over cases from the Home Office and from us, sometimes in court, and question clients as if there will be no tomorrow. They will question clients with almost 10 to 15 questions when they think that there are so many lapses in the questions that we were supposed to raise. And don't forget, I cannot question my client deeply because it's my client, and my primary objective was for my client to succeed in any ramification. So there is a limitation to what I can ask my client publicly in the presence of the judicial system, unless there is a complication in what the judges ask or the judge asks, and I will categorically go over that question and question my client before the judge. There is no reservation to that as well. I will do so. I will do it at any time. I have said to the judge in the past that, ma'am, your court is not the first court I will sit in my career. I have been sitting before the judges over 17, 18 years. So I have no problem complying with the rules, but in the interest of my client, I will not accept your statement, ma'am. The judge will look into my face, but I did not place any rudeness towards my statement. But politely, I deserve that right to say that her statement is uncalled for, but in a civil manner, she should retract it and correct herself, which the judge put it properly and rephrase it in the end. And if she failed to rephrase her statement, I will put a complaint through to the judicial board in the United Kingdom as well. So don't forget that we all both have rights against each other, and nobody is above the law. Nobody is above the law except Her Majesty the Queen of Elizabeth in the United Kingdom. But in the past, her car has been stopped while she was not in the car. The driver was speeding with the car, and they had Princess Anne inside the car, and they were going on a speed above the limit of that motorway. So the car was stopped categorically, and they were given tickets because it is obvious that Her Majesty will never be in the car for that driver to be speeding. But it was her only daughter inside the car, Princess Anne, allowing the driver to speed above the control legal limits in the United Kingdom. So ticket was given to Princess Anne inside Her Majesty II vehicle on that fateful day. That is why I said to you, nobody is above the law. Ladies and gentlemen, unless you want to ask me a question, you go through the WhatsApp and you ask me. But as for the day, I have done my best for today to put it to your notice what needs to be done and how you have to correct it. Documentation fails applications in so many areas, especially those who are going for long residency. You will fail categorically if you fail to put documents through properly and pile documents together to show evidence of entry into the United Kingdom. You're going to fail your case. Also, in terms of those who are making application to come to UK, if you don't take legal advice, the success is limited in that aspect. And let's leave that aside before I round up. Let me quickly answer a question that somebody asked me, but I will just put it out there publicly. Now, when you are claiming asylum, the somebody asked the question that can asylum be claimed in this manner, Of course, you can only claim asylum in the first country you have landed, especially when the country is not at war. Now, if you took off from Nigeria and you go to Benin Republic, before you fly to another Western world, you should claim your asylum at Benin Republic. You cannot claim asylum in Germany, in UK, or Holland, or elsewhere, because Benin Republic is not at war. Benin Republic is a peaceful country. It's not at war. It's a federal country, and it has its president. It has every parastatus government there. So it's a country that is vital to take you on asylum matter. Now, if you fail to claim asylum as Benin Republic, and you now want to head into the United Kingdom, or Germany, or Italy, you are going to face a lot of hold up. Traffic will take you. The meaning of traffic is that the government of the federal government, the government of the United Kingdom that you wanted to claim asylum from as a third flight country, it is called third flight country, will not accept your application straight away, and you might face from predicament because they will have to contact the Benin Republic and find out the reason why they failed to give you asylum protection if you are in fear of persecution. To claim asylum in another country, you have to show that the government of that country that you are coming from originally cannot afford you protection. And as a result of that, you have to run for your life because the state parastatals are behind the government and there is no assistance or help that you can receive from the home parastatals, and is the reason why you took off and come to another country. But if you take off from your country of origin and you landed at Somalia, you will be very right to take off again to continue your journey to go to UK, Italy, because Somalia is not a safe country. So therefore, no one will expect you to claim asylum from Somalia country when they too, they don't even know what they are doing. They don't even know where they are going. They don't even know what tomorrow has in the bag for them. So you cannot claim asylum from Somalia if you are taking off from a certain country and you landed your flight. So when you are going to escape, when you are going to escape from a certain country because of fear of persecution, you must take a direct flight that is taking you to the next destination where you are aiming to claim your asylum. You must not take a change flight. So there must not be a second country, second flight authority, so that the issue of third flight will not come into being. You will take off from the country of origin directly, and you will land in the country where you know it is safe for you, and they will afford you that protection. They will not return you back, and there will be no argument to return you back. For example, in the military regime of so many years of so many countries, they managed to flee into the United Kingdom in the 90s to ask the Secretary of State then to afford them protection that their country of origin has failed to afford them. And in this respect, they got it right. So third flight issue is a problem. It's always a problem. Avoid it at all costs when you are escaping death. When you are fear of your persecution from your country of origin, always avoid third country flight. Always avoid it, you know. Always avoid that third flight issue. Because once you fly, you land and you change, the third flight issue authority will come into being. And it is debatable. Don't say it's not debatable. It is debatable, and there is more possibility that your application will fail on asylum matter. So be careful. Be careful. For example, if you are escaping from Nigeria and there is a Virgin Atlantic or British Airways, those are the two flights you can use directly to go into the UK. And if you are going for Alitalia to Italy, or you are using Lufthansa to Germany, you should use them directly to go straight to with Lufthansa into Germany, and Alitalia straight into Italy. So that is what I have for you, those who have been asking me some phrases of questions behind the closed door on whether asylum issue, what is going on. I mean, that's the issue. That's my response to the public at large. There is nothing hidden, no secret in my response. My response is for the public to look and assess it. I stand corrected. Lawyer Tokunbo Olagbaye is my name. My name will never change, Mrs. Olagbaye. Till the day will break, I will remain Mrs. Olagbaye. Don't forget, it is about immigration and nationality law of the United Kingdom. For those who want to come to United Kingdom, please try as much as possible, always take advice. If you don't have money to pay for consultation, you don't have money to fly. You don't have money to leave your country of origin. So you should remain where you are and manage whatever you are having there. If you cannot afford to pay for ordinary consultation fee to get different advice and alternatives to the visas that are available that will suit you and your family to travel into the country I am living, United Kingdom, you're not ready. Please don't consult me unless you can pay for my consultation fee. If you are not ready to pay consultation fee, please don't phone my line and don't send me hi. I am too old to do hi. My face is young, but my age is not decreasing. May God bless you all. I cover my voice with the blood of Jesus. I cover all of you with the blood of Jesus. I cover my timeline with the blood of Jesus. I cover my life, my home, and my correspondence with the blood of Jesus. Nobody should disturb me, for I am carrying the mark of Christ on me. Until next time, my numbers are on 0208-309-8808, 0208-309-8808. And the mobile number for WhatsApp, 07908-628-240, 07908-628-240. WhatsApp, Nigeria number, 0813-456-6319, 0813-456-6319. Almost ṣiṣẹ́ lèmi. I work hard. I don't joke with my work. So take care until next time. I plead the blood of Jesus on you by the authority inside me and the authority in heaven. I will continue to see you until the day break. You will not die, I will not die. Because we have to live to testify to the goodness of God. Cover you with the blood of Jesus. Take care and take care of your home and correspondence. Be there for them, for your family. Until next time, Lawyer Tokunbo. Bye for now. God bless you all. God bless you all. God bless you. God bless you. Stamina Faju Itotunde. Adeboyeku Festus. Thank you. Saribi, thank you. Ege Obasun Owe, thank you. Izuna Ike, thank you. Sebi Otimo Yalaja Shakade, thank you. Shade Adebayo, thank you. Ajubish Koka, thank you. Ege Obasun, thank you. Thank you. Adebisi Oshukoya, Karen Ampush, thank you. Thank you, everybody. Anne Adisa, thank you, man. Thank you. Bello Osagi, thank you. Thank you. Adebisi, thank you. Thank you, all of you. Oluwasaya, Famoriyo, Ogundare, thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all of you. Fantastic people. Don't forget, I mentioned it that I do not have copyright to the music that I played. But nevertheless, I let you know that my origin, my background, I did not come from sky, neither do I come from cloud. My origin, my background, my family, my music, my work, my love, my correspondence. So that's it. There we go. Ajibode Olajide, thank you. Adura Owolabi, thank you.
Yeah, Africa.
Izina Ike, thank you all of you, thank you. Ike Uzope.
Africa is my home.
Not yet, Ike.
Land of blessing.
We will keep on waiting.
Africa.
Keep on watching like a bride watching for the bride, like a bridegroom waiting for the bride. As soon as I have information, I'll let you know. Yes, so.
I'm black and proud. I'm black and proud.
Yes, so.
All over the sea and over the land. There is no place like Africa. Yeah, Africa. Yeah, Africa. Africa. All Africa games of Nigeria. Prove to all the world.
I do not have copyright to the music. Chief Ebenezer Obey control the music and he has the copyright. He has the copyright. Ebenezer Obey family has the copyright to the music being played, ever played. It's already in the public domain, so I access it in the public domain. Thank you, Jima Wasi. Thank you. Thank you, Bika Lama Faborode. Thank you.
The bright sunshine.
Esther Olufemi just coming on.
makes me to believe
Oh yes.
that all over the world there's no place like Africa.
At all.
For Nigeria is my home.
Wallahi. Abọ́sẹ̀dé Ọ̀ṣíkọ̀yà. Àwọn èèyàn ti ẹ̀ tí o. Àwọn èèyàn ti ẹ̀ tí o.
Africa is my home.
I cannot thank all of you enough. December is coming again. Watch out.
I'm black and proud. I'm black and proud. I'm black and proud.
Emily Watson.
All over the land.
Hug me, hug. Excuse me, hug.
There is no place like Africa. Yeah, Africa.
I'm on program, no, Felicia.
Africa.
I'm on program. I'm on the program.
Africa is my home.
Oh. Okay. I'm on program now, but you have been granted now. So what are you checking again? You have been granted. The card is not coming. Is it that the card come to you or to my office? She's been granted. Don't let me give her name out to you. I've already mentioned her, but it doesn't matter. She's a happy Benin City girl. Happy Benin City girl. Only beam, Agbaje Orange, Silope Ajomale. Thank you, my dear. Adura Wolabi, thank you. Who will not like the music, Adura? Adura Wolabi, who will not like the music? It makes sense. When you are relaxing your head. Don Mias, thank you. Love you so much, Don Mias. Thank you for believing in me, Don Mias. Thank you. Thank you, Jima Wasi. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Obaso. Thank you, Stamina today. Thank you. Victoria A. Obishola, LTO person. Thank you. Lumide Afolabi, well done. Welcome. Oh, yes.
I am proud to be Nigerian.
Thank you, Victoria A. Obishola.
I am proud to be Nigerian.
Thank you, dear. Thank you. K. Avenue. Thank you. Thank you. Honestly, information you give out free of charge will make a difference between life and death. God bless you abundantly. Thank you, Stamina, for doing it today.
I will never forget.
Thank you, Juma Wasi. Thank you.
I will never.
Thank you. Thank you. It's my cross. I have to carry it. If I don't give this information, God will not be happy with me. It's a cross I must carry. It is a cross that I must carry. So everybody must carry their own cross. It is my cross and I must carry it. If I don't give this information, I will not be happy within me. It is when I give this information for free that makes me happy. And when I'm happy, my spirit is happy. And I get the result. If I don't give this information, I will never be happy. And I will not be at peace until I give the information to the public, because that is what God wanted me to do. So it's a cross that I must carry whether I like it or not. Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, Tokunbo Olagbaye 0208 309 8808 and the WhatsApp number 07908 628240 07908 628240. Home Office has apologized to the delay some of you must have received in getting your biometric card, but they have no apology There was no apology to the fact that they are going beyond 6 months standard processing time on your application. There's no apology from that end. But they have apologized to the biometric that's been delayed because of technical issues. But there was no apology from their end on the standard processing time because they believe they are doing you a favor by granting you a stay to remain in their country. So I am sorry, that's the way I will put it. But they have paid an homage to you by saying they apologize to the fact that there is the technical issues on the biometric, and as such it messed things up and people could not receive their biometric card on time after the grant of status. But as for the processing time, 6 months, either court or home office, there's no apology from that end, I'm afraid so. So you have to continue to wait until we are able to receive from them. But there is no failure from my end. Quote my English. I hate failure. And poverty is my greatest enemy in my life. Poverty is my greatest enemy. And we can never have a house next to each other. So take care until next time. Bye for now.